Hi guys, welcome back. Today's lesson is about non-count nouns. It is actually one of two videos on non-count nouns, but in today's lesson we'll just talk about what they are and then different types of non-count nouns there are so that we can distinguish them from count nouns. And then at the end we'll have a short worksheet so that we can practice what we go over today. So what is a non-count noun? They are nouns that generally don't take on the plural form. And some examples I wrote here are information, transportation, gold, attention, and stuff. These are all very common nouns, but most of the time we don't pluralize them even if we're talking about a lot of it. If you look at the bottom two examples, it says there are so much information online. So even though I'm talking about a lot of information, I don't say informations. We say information. And on the last sentence says, I was shocked at how much traffics there were in LA. Again, I shouldn't say traffics, even though there's a ton of traffic in LA. We would say singular traffic. If we cannot differentiate between a count noun and a non-count noun, most likely you will make mistakes with articles like a or un, or you will have subject-verb disagreements. The list of non-count nouns is really long. So I think it might help us to just know the different types of non-count nouns there are so that we can better differentiate between count and non-count. So the first group of non-count nouns we'll talk about are nouns with no distinct or separate parts. So under this category are all liquids. So milk, water, tea, juice, oil, blood, yogurt, soup, rain, and any other liquid you can think of is going to be a non-count noun. Under the same category are all meats. So these are meats that we consume or eat as food. So for example, pork, beef, chicken, turkey, ham, etc. They're all non-count nouns. But keep in mind that the animals like chicken or turkey, if that's what you're talking about, like live animals right here, they are count nouns, right? So we have 2 pigs and 4 chickens in my backyard, right? So it's only the meats that we consume that we consider non-count nouns, but the animals themselves, they will be considered count nouns. And the last in this group, other nouns that have no distinct or separate parts, like bread, butter, paper, thunder, electricity, air, and snow, are all considered non-count nouns. And I noticed that I used this word paper here, and a lot of my students in the past had questions about this word because they understood that we couldn't count air or snow or electricity, but they felt that they can count paper. But all materials like paper, wood, plastic, glass, gold, silver, all materials are considered non-count nouns. And in our next video, we'll talk about how to quantify or count these uncountable nouns. So please stay tuned for next week's video as well. Another group of non-count nouns are nouns that have very small parts. So they are either too small or too insignificant for us to sit there and count, like rice, salt, pepper, sugar, hair, grass, corn, and sand. And if you can think of another noun that is way too small or just too many for us to count, it's probably a non-count noun. The third group of non-count nouns are categories of things. So for example, under the category of money, we have dollars, quarters, and dimes. So the category name, money, is a non-count noun, but whatever falls under that will be count noun. Same thing with furniture. Under furniture, we have sofas, tables, and chairs. And under the category of food, we have apples, chips, and other types of food. And under the category of time, we have days, years, minutes, months. So keep in mind that the category name will be non-count. Now, there are situations where I can say monies or foods and just add the S, pluralize a non-count noun. But again, in our next video, we'll talk about these types of exceptions. Here are a few more examples of categories. So under homework, we have readings, writings, exercises. Under work, we have meetings, reports. If you can think of any word that ends with work, like housework, they're all also going to be non-count. We have the category of jewelry, and then we have rings, necklaces, bracelets under this category. And under mail, we have letters, packages, and advertisements. I think from this list, the most frequent mistake I hear is with the word jewelry. A lot of people say jewelries, but it should just be jewelry, singular. The fourth group of non-count nouns are abstract nouns. This category talks about ideas and concepts rather than physical things, like democracy, attention, love, happiness, beauty, education, knowledge, advice, fun, and research. The last group of non-count nouns that we'll talk about are subjects of study. For example, biology, history, mathematics, or geometry are all considered non-count nouns. Let's take a few minutes to do this quick exercise. Please write C for count noun and NC if you feel that this is a non-count noun. And please pause this video for more time. Now let's go over the answers. Number 1, wisdom, is a non-count noun. It is very similar to knowledge, right? It's something that we have. We can't really count how many wisdoms we have. Number 2, humor, is also a non-count noun. This guy doesn't have 8 humors, right? Humor is just humor. Number 3, rock, is a count noun. Number 4, notebook, is also a count noun. Number 5, luggage is actually non-count, which I think people find confusing, but we wouldn't say 5 luggages. We would say 5 pieces of luggage. So it's a non-count noun. Equipment is also non-count. Number 7, idea, is a count noun, which is strange, right? Because idea is also abstract, but it is considered a count noun. Anger is a non-count noun. Just like happiness, all emotions are non-count. Sunlight, definitely cannot count it, so it's a non-count. And television is a count noun. I wonder how you guys did. Please leave a comment below if you have any questions and we'll talk about it. Well, that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found that helpful, and if you have any questions, please leave them below and I will definitely get back to you. Also, we're going to continue on talking about non-count nouns in our next lesson, and in that lesson, we'll talk about how to quantify or count these non-count nouns, and when we can actually pluralize a non-count noun. I hope to see you guys then. Bye.